final cut. That ain't making it to the final cut. Probably gonna be me. There's a fish in this toilet. All right. Hey guys, you're watching Ass Stamped. My name is Chris. Today I have a special guest with me. I have
Biggs. I haven't been on a video for a while, but I'm back.
Biggs is a part of outreach with me as well as production and retail. And today we're going to answer some of your questions. And
hopefully there's a bunch of barrel questions.
Hopefully, like, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Chris is more attractive than Biggs, because they're all like, fuck Chris. You're allowed to swear in this too.
Oh, am I? Thank you for giving me permission.
Yeah, you're good. You're welcome. Scott James Campbell asks, with the recent growth and interest in airsoft in our local fields, we're in Pittsburgh, what do you expect for the sport in our area? Example, bigger games and bigger MILSIM events in our local area, possibly.
Yeah.
What's going to pop off in our area?
I'm excited to start seeing more paintball fields starting to take airsoft more seriously. And so any amount of volume in events we get is going to make people more active and help us get an elevated level of events. So starting with just pickup games on Sundays, or some fields doing it once a month, that gets people out and playing more, and then hopefully we can get more events in the area, maybe get some more national-sized events closer to us. But
I personally, for me, I would really like to see a lot more events locally that are bringing in a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being, 95% of what I do is just based on self-preservation. I just want to sleep in my own bed. That's the thing is, like, I like the occasional hotel, but we never really get one that's like that I spend a lot of time in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're either doing that or we're sleeping out on the ground, which I don't mind. I really don't. But I just, dude, taking a dump in your own toilet, showering in your own shower, sleeping in your own bed, go to war and come back and watch Netflix. That's.
Mm-hmm. But I also, back to that, I also like that seeing fields that are interjecting into their fields, like making more improvements. As I see Steeltown doing that, and getting better quality fields because we're playing more locally.
And it's nice. It's nice because there's I feel like Eastern PA is really spoiled with what they have because they have Zulu 24. They're super close to New Jersey, which has OTP and Strikeforce South. There's EMR, which has events. There's like a lot of different fields that are over in that direction, and they're super built up, super awesome, and they got a lot of great events that are going on over there. So it'd be cool to get like a little bit of recognition, over here.
And then on the other side of us in Ohio, there's a lot of fields in Ohio. I mean, they're sort of spread out throughout.
But they're
Ohio.
like 2 hours away,
right?
So you have to stay out there if you're vending because you got to be up early, and so back to just want to just sleep in my bed. So
this box.
Yep.
Okay. Jesse Reese, what's your biggest pet peeve within the airsoft community?
My biggest pet peeve in the airsoft community is probably the overlap with the troll community online. It's really bad. And it's one of those things like recently we opened up a feature that we're going to sort of talk about at the end of the episode here, but it's like allowed us to talk with a lot more people, and it's at that like critical before it hits like the public like purity where it's like, okay, this is like what we want it to be, and then as soon as we open it up, it's going to be like, somebody posted this and I hate it, and like some girl posted boobs for likes and it makes me cringe. Like it's just the sort of level of like toxicity that is sort of behind airsofting within our community, like certain like Facebook pages and like Reddit groups and things like that. Like, don't get me wrong, like I do look at them and maybe that's like a part of the issue is that like we are giving attention to it, but I feel like there's certain people that take that like tenacity of like, I'm gonna say this on the internet to like, I'm gonna say that on the airsoft field, and then you find yourself in this like super uncomfortable situation where somebody's like being awful and being completely inconsiderate of like somebody else's feelings, or like saying rude, crude, or inappropriate things to individuals.
I completely agree with that, but I'm going to refine it in a little bit different direction, just so I have something to talk about. No. But I hate, I remember pet peeve, softer word, elitism and people that try to exclude people because of their lack of opportunities to do things. That goes as far as to like people that play one style of airsoft that don't like another style. And that happens on both sides, or people that dislike someone because they don't have the highest quality stuff, or they don't play enough to warrant getting stuff at that price point. To even, someone that just plays on the weekends to someone that wants to travel 6 to 8 hours. We all play the same sport, hobby, whatever you want to call it. And why dislike someone because they like to do it different than you?
I bag on Speedsoft all the time, but like when the reality is like when you and I went to go play at OVA at our Christmas party, you just like you beat the shit out of us. Like, and that's the thing is that, like, you should never discount anybody, like, or their skill, because you're in like put yourself in their perspective. You're probably gonna get housed on just like hard if you're just like expecting things to go a certain way. So yeah.
Well, playing freeze tag with BB guns.
Just like honestly, I think bullying is just the biggest thing. Cyberbullying.
If you want to root it down to the base thing, that's sort of where that is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, eHouse asks, what are some common newbie mistakes for the first-time MILSIM attendees should avoid?
I would say either over or under packing, because you have some people that, if they're going to like a game style where you play a couple hours, take break, play a couple hours, they'll take way too much stuff. And then you got the people that are on the inverse level where they go to an endurance game, a 24, 48 hour top style game, and they don't take enough.
They bring a backpack and a couple bottles of water, and they're like,
one MRE.
Yeah, and my whole thing is, also what goes along with that is like know your role, like in the sense of like you have different rules in MILSIM. You'll have a medic, you'll have, and the medic, like this is what we definitely have, like when we went to our OpEx last year, our tech was our medic. And he was the first dude through the door, no matter how hard we tried to pull him back. And I was like, brother, you're killing me. And he was like, what? And he just like know your roles. And also, that goes along, like I usually run support, which means I carry around a huge backpack full of stuff that my teammates need, as well as stuff that I need as, support. And so, like, for me, it's important to be able to carry that weight. If you're like some 10-pound kid and you've got an SM, or you've got a saw and a backpack with, 800,000 rounds in it, and you've got EG-67s tied to your helmet, and you're ready to like storm, Tenement Square, like it's just like you're gonna have a bad time. And then you're never gonna want to go back because you're like I got out there and I carried all my stuff and then I got yeeted on in the first 5 seconds. And then I went home and I had to wait for my mom.
Because if you're overloaded and then the challenge of how much ground you have to take is too much, and then you think I don't want to play that because it's too strenuous. Reality, if you would have played a little different, it wouldn't have been so good.
We actually just got back from an event and I took off my backpack, and one of our friends that was with us, significantly smaller, picked up the bag and like almost toppled over. And he was like, why is it so heavy? And I was like, because it's not that heavy to me because I'm significantly larger than he is. But it's because I know how to appropriately pack my body. So that's sort of crucial for any sort of MILSIM is just, we all can't be like Wes, who buys a Systema PTW.
The old school way.
Brings it just like the only gun to an event, and then
not catch fire in a rainstorm.
Yeah, right.
All right. Anthony Seelinger. If I butchered that name, I'm sorry. What are the odds you and Kurt speak in a country accent during the next question? Well, Kurt's not here.
This is a very personal question because he knew something that he shouldn't. All right.
I don't do accents.
I'll do it. Kevin Pierre asks, besides sporting events and being more visible in the airsoft community, what is AMP doing to set themselves apart from other retailers in the said community? Answering fucking questions in a stupid accent.
I know we try to very heavily focus on customer support and customer interaction. But I mean, any company can say that. It's up to you to base if we're doing a good job on that. We also try to produce a lot of things that fit the needs of people, from anything in our production departments, our regulators lines to we have the Ragnar helmets and anything like that.
Apparently, we're also super fucking cringy. Oh god, I just feel like I want to take a shower after that. I think what we also do is that we just are very natural. One of the things that I see sort of is we go to events. We have a lot of friends that are in the community that work in the industry. Obviously, you know, because we work in the industry ourselves. And I think one of the things that we do is, when you talk to Nigel, you talk to from Elite Force, or you talk to Glenn from Strike Force South, or you talk to Andy from Titman, or you talk to, you talk to all these people. They're very open, no matter what interaction, like what setting you're interacting with them. But, people within their company are very much like, I'm at work, this is business time. For us, we are able to tread that line as like a whole company. We are always the way that we are. And because of that, the people that used to work here, they were always the way that they are. You've never gotten like a filtered version of who we are as people. I'm always manic. I'm always stressed out, and I'm always willing to like. And Biggs is always informative, and he's always like in this sort of like dad state, because he's a dad, but somebody has to take care of us. Kurt's always like he's just always Kurt. Andrew's always Andrew. DePietro's always DePietro. You never see like a fake version of us. So I'm not saying that like other people in the industry are fake. I'm just saying they hide certain aspects of themselves because, to be fair, it goes back to that question that we had earlier about like, cyberbullying and things like that, is that if you promote a certain aspect of yourself online, then people will go after it. They'll key in and be like, this is something that sucks about you. And then it's like, oh, well, you're talking about me personally. We just don't care. Like, we're pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know that, anytime that does happen, where we get caught up, it's like, we try to solve it. Contact that person and be like, what happened? How can we fix it? So.
Or we call them out. Actually, this one is yours.
Yeah, trying to skip me. AJ, OS 15, from Omega. Favorite stock gun not currently or easily available in the U.S. E.g., or example, Tokamuri or the Arcturus AKs?
I don't know. My go-to is, I don't own one, but Probably like a TM MP7. I think they're pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Extreme 45s. Like a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I'm not a big.
I don't know why.
That's the full auto one?
It's the 4.3 full auto.
Okay.
Yeah, I like those.
I sort of bouncing between two of them. One of them is just starting to make its way into the country licensed, and that's the recoil shocks. And then the one that isn't in the U.S. at all right now are the AW Custom Glock series or G series.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, they look really nice.
I also like the Tanaka M700. That one's pretty. I hear that they're like such a pain in the butt to own in the U.S. because the parts are so scarce. So you're.
Oh, that's a lot of Tanaka stuff.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Not a lot of depth you can go into that question, but it's a good question.
Yeah, you get those fillers.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Your turn.
All right, now it's my turn. Okay. Rob Elliott, with all the restock coming, do you see another move in the future? So, I mean, that's one of the things that we get that question a lot. It either comes in the form of, hey, are you guys opening another store? Are you guys doing, your own events? Are you going to open a field? Are you going to, shave your heads and glue all the hair to your butts? Like, one of the biggest things that we try to do is we try to take the experience that we're currently providing and make it better. So, with the restock, it has sort of allowed us to do something new and cool. We still have it, but we have a giant tent that we would take to events all the time. And more recently, we sort of did our trial run, and it actually worked out super well. We have a trailer that we take now. It's what?
Well, we've had the trailer.
We've had the trailer, but we've never utilized it
in that
way.
It was always just a haul.
And now it's a store. Mm-hmm. So we drop the the tail, and it comes down, and you can literally go inside, and we had a really good reception with that.
From a logistics point of view, it's great.
Phenomenal.
You can pre-stage the whole store.
Exactly, and then we literally just show up and drop the thing. Personally, for us as a company, it's important for us to like I said, make what we do, do it perfect, and then maybe you'll see a store maybe down the road. Maybe you'll see, I know with the new stock we just recently announced that we are doing a amped custom pistol that will be available on our site sometime within the next month. And if you're if you were just at SS Airsoft, you'll have seen it run by Amy from Gun Gamers.
Hence why I can't show it to you.
Because it's actually
in transit.
It's in transit to them because can't take that stuff on the plane.
Not a good idea.
So,
but yeah, no plans on moving. We're here for at least minimum next couple of years. Yeah.
Because we have a lease.
Yeah. But yeah, the building's working good for us, so no reason. Good location too.
Yeah. No tears.
A lot of plans for the future.
No, not really. Is that for you?
Okay. Why'd I grab the big one?
I think it was just that I didn't cut that part of the video. It's
yeah,
not really a huge question.
This is blank. Okay. Ferris Menace.
That's actually that's our buddy Luke, who some of you may have seen the pictures of it, but he built the Smart Arm.
Oh, that's
from Aliens.
Sci-fi.
Yeah, it's just sci-fi.
Oh, it's just sci-fi.
Yeah.
Okay. He used to go by another name.
Well, that's his. That's his Discord thing.
His company, though.
Oh yeah.
Might be an oddball question, but good for some people. What are some better practices when buying used airsoft guns from people online, such as forums or hop-up, and best practices when dealing with trades?
So this is something that I really don't know. If you can meet up in person. I recently got burned on a deal, and I bought something, and I'm not gonna go over it because I promised I wasn't gonna be sore about it, but I am a little bit sore about it. I tried to get like a bigger cummerbund.
I remember.
And I wanted something like it's weird. I wanted something bigger, but I didn't want it to have like Molly on it. So I found a pair of the SKD, and I was gonna put that on. And then when I went to go put it on, I was like, this is obnoxiously small. And they were like, no, it's a large. And I was like, it's okay, it's fine. And you know that, and like that's something that like sometimes that's just like par for the course. I know for a fact that there was the S&S plate carriers that Nigel tried to get me to buy.
Oh, the plate
from
frames?
the plate frames from Hunger Games, because he was like, dude, what if we own all the plate carriers from Hunger Games?
Kurt had one of those.
Oh, he still does. He still does, yeah.
Okay.
But the woman who, she was like, oh, it fits like it fits, it's a medium.
Mm-hmm.
What she didn't understand was that when it says medium, it's the size plating.
Right.
And she put it on a medium person. Like they were like, oh yeah, I wear medium. So like we saw mediums, we're like, oh, that's like a large, extra large, whatever. Like that's roughly around where you'd fit. And so he bought one and then sent like a super sassy message back. He wasn't mean, but he was like, hey, like maybe next time, this is like, he like explained to her, so you don't have this issue in the future. Also, just like super like bummed that I can't wear the Hunger Games like plate carrier. But
I'd say,
as far as like hop up goes, I would say local.
Meeting up is always best. That way you can decide not to pull the trigger after looking at something. But if that is unavoidable, hence it being online mostly, as much information as you can milk out of a person.
And if they have the what are they called, the notes? Or the
vouchers.
The vouchers. The more vouchers, the better.
Mm-hmm. And look through their vouchers. Like, try to see if you any names you recognize, or if those vouchers have vouchers too, because sometimes that'll be a clue. Because I've seen people posting up saying, "Oh, I'll sell you vouchers." They just make accounts and do that. So, sort of vet them a little bit and ask for pictures. Try to get like them to take a specific picture for you. Yeah, shooting video if it's a gun. But even with all of that, you're still always taking a chance.
And the other thing is, like, even meeting them, like, meeting up with them, you're taking a chance. Because I remember that story of the guy who was like, hey, I went to this thing with my dad, and my dad stayed in the car, and then this older guy, like, threw me to the ground, and I wouldn't let go of my SLP, and then he literally ripped, like, his tank and SLP apart. And it was all scraped and everything like that, and we hooked him up, and we're like, yeah, dude, that sucks. But that's one of the things that, like, you always have to be careful, not even just like hop up, but like meeting somebody like off Craigslist or, whatever, like, hey, I want to sell this. Make sure that you don't go alone. Make sure you don't meet at night. Make sure that you meet publicly. Don't be like, hey, here's my address. Come, like, because they're going to be like, dude, I already got buyers lined up. We're going to come rob you, like, so, yeah.
Yeah, and even if you ask 1,000 questions, there's still going to be something you forgot to ask them. So you're just always going to take that chance, because I know I've done it. I've traded stuff and I get it, and I'm like, wires are frayed inside. I never would have thought to ask about that. It's had a piston that was stripped in 5 shots.
Yeah, it's like buying a car online. So, yeah. Mondo Madden EKG01 asks, questions everyone's been waiting for performance wise: murder mags or EPMs? This is hot. This is real hot because, like, there's, like, some drama behind this. I mean, I feel like it's died down a little bit. But
died down a little
there's
bit.
Still, like...
There's some hotheads. Or maybe not hotheads, but, there's things at stake there. But as far as performance-wise, I have gotten some feedback on customers on the murder mags. Some people say they love them. I've had other people that said they don't work worth crap in their gun. That's any mag can be brand specific. It not like this brand or not like that brand, or you got an aftermarket hop up. Sometimes it just doesn't seat right. So, the more positive feedback I've heard than negative feedback on the murder mags, and then the EPMs. They're just, you struggle to find someone that doesn't like them.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the EPMs is the springs are so strong.
Oh, almost too strong, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Over 9,000 a little bit there.
Oh.
Because that's an issue is that, like, I know I have to break in my springs
Okay.
a little bit. Let them sit for, like, with, like, a loaded mag for, like, a week.
Okay, that's a long time.
Yeah, so. I'm not a big fan of the murder mags. And to be frank, I think that, what really turns me off as a consumer is to see sort of like professional Jimmy wrestling. And that's what I feel like has been going on between both of those companies. And so
it's a company and a person for the most part.
I mean, it's a company and then another company that's like
bigger than both of them.
Bigger than both of them. So I feel like I'm like.
But we haven't done any hard tests.
I have.
Oh, he's done a hard test.
But I didn't think to
document it.
Yeah, it was just the one was me dropping an EPM out my back window and then dropping a murder mag out of my back window at my apartment. I live on the second floor.
They both survived?
Yes. Ish.
Okay.
They weren't like beyond function.
Mm-hmm.
The one just had like a little less damage than the other.
Okay.
And then, which is important because I throw my mags. Like I don't throw them at people. Like
you threw one at me. No,
oh, when I popped it?
No, you threw it as a fake grenade.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did. That was you because you were stuck in the stairwell, and I was like, oh, I gotta get it up there. And then he kicked it back at me. Kicked it back, and I was like, son of a bitch. Yeah, I'll drop them or I'll like
mag flip them.
Mag flip them.
I'm too fancy for that. I don't want to lose them.
Yeah. So I'll like that's like my big deal, and I need to make sure that they're gonna like not gonna as soon as I do that. So I loaded it up, threw it out, and then the only thing was that the murder mag vomited all over the ground, all the babies that were inside.
Oh, the impact open. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
I will say I like PMag looks, but I run the ERG PMags, so I have licensed PMags.
Oh, that's your butt pickler. No.
You're gonna pick it for me.
Keep doing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm patient.
Well, because you got to move a little bit faster.
Hey, it's Drew. Drew McDaniels. What hop-up is the best for the Fusion engine?
He put a smiley face on this because he knew that this question was going to be like so dumb. Go ahead.
There's more information needed for that because you also need to know what body it's going in. But I would say, I say this in general, any rotary style is the one I would first pick over any crank style. And then beyond that, depending on your guns, sometimes the stock one might be best. Crytek specifically, you can keep the stock hop-ups in those. Beyond that, there's probably about 3 I recommend. One's on the hit or miss, and the other 2 are better. The Pro Wins, the ones that are a little hit or miss, they used to be really great, but they're a little hit or miss now. And the retros are a little better.
So the retros, my only gripe with the retros is they are so hard to turn because they're like. They're CNC'd.
They could be polished a little bit more. I think.
They could. They have a groove set that's like
really
meant
tight.
to click.
Mm-hmm.
No, it like clicks in.
Okay.
So you have to like. There's no like readjust. I just put one into one of our shotguns, and it was such a pain in the ass. The maple.
Oh, why did we put an aftermarket in the maple?
Because I wanted to see what we would do with it.
Okay.
It has an SHS hop up and I was like, I wasn't getting the action I wanted out of it. But the rest of it just. You're gonna also see that at SS Airsoft. Yeah.
But the third one is the Max hop ups. They've come out. I've had not a lot of experience with them, but everything I've seen, they've done really great. They also come with a lot of stuff in the packaging. They come with the 2 different style metal nubs that have a rubber buffer so that they're not super hard.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have it so you can switch out and put your own nub in it. And they're just super refined. They have that BB catch so you're not wasting as many BBs. dials are labeled so you know what your adjustment's at. It's just, there's a lot of great features. There's really good quality. You can see the BBs through the window, so you know if it's feeding, so you know if it's your nozzle, if your dwell, if it's any of that stuff. So I just think that for the amount of options and then the quality of it, it's probably one of the best. As for specifically for the Fusion engine, you just need a good quality one.
Alex Kopishki. How do you prefer your BVs? .12 or 3.2s?
Definitely 12. Every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
The more seams and air pockets I can see in them, the better.
Yeah, especially off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We always, like, previously, we get this question a lot, is like, what's your standard go-to weight? For me, I play outdoors almost every single time. The heavier the better.
To a degree.
To a degree, it depends, what you have in your gun. If you have, like, a wider bore and everything like that, you can use...
I would generally say that the range of 2.5 to 3.2s are applicable for most guns that can shoot up to 400.
Yeah.
If you have an HPA system or a really large volume, a higher bore cylinder, something to push a little bit more volume out, you might be able to do a little higher. That's in an AEG, or like you said, a wide bore where you can dump so much extra air out.
Yeah.
Something where you can run a heavier bore.
And that's the thing where it's just like I always just tell people to go the highest you can. That's the most important thing for me, is to go higher and heavier.
Well, the heavier the BB, the more consistently it's going to carry its speed, as opposed to like a 2, which Gun Gamers did a great video on BB velocities. Plug them a little bit, but a 2 is going to come out the barrel a lot faster, but it's going to slow down a lot quicker. A 3.2 is going to come out a lot slower, but it's going to stay more consistently that speed farther downrange. A little bit. Dane Duff, DSGs versus P-Stars. What are the pros and cons? Obvious con to Polar Stars is, for the majority of them, you have an airline. Obvious downside to DSGs, it is a impact-driven system, or a lot of moving part system. It's going to probably break a lot sooner.
It's not a build for dummies.
Yeah, it is a little bit more complicated to build, but
don't be a dummy and try to do a DSG build. That's the first. But then don't be a dummy and try to do HPA. HPA Pros, it'll last you forever.
Yeah, it's less moving parts, so less wear and tear, and usually when something goes wrong, it's an O-ring or an lubrication issue, so it's a lot easier to fix for the most case.
Yeah, DSGs, if it farts out, you might as well just, toss the gun out the window, because it's going to take like a million years and a bunch of money to get it fixed.
Maybe a bunch of money, but not a million years. Depending on who's taking it. But, but DSGs can do a lot of cool things for a self-contained gun. You get a lot of snappy trigger response. There's a bunch of things you can do to it. You can make it a little quieter, doing sorbo pads or stuff like that. That'll help release some of the stress from the impact from the gearbox. But most of that you can achieve with an HPA system too, especially with a lot of the on-gun air systems. Then you don't have that line that you're tethered to anymore, but it is an additional source that you have to feed your gun. So that is another drawback. Is you got to feed it BBs, you got to feed it electricity, unless it's like the Hurricane or any of the mechanical systems, and then you got to feed it air too. So. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Partyboy 1281 says, "Awesome video. Glad to see Amped is back. What barrel is best for my?" He says it was just kidding. He's not going to do that. But on the real, how much further into realism can Airsoft go as we see a huge surge in pyro? I love this question because I like blowing stuff up.
That's dangerous.
I know, though. I love fires. I I love putting myself and my friends at risk.
That's great. But you're scared of HPA tanks.
No, I'm scared of the compressor. That's a totally different thing. Yeah, dude. Okay, go ahead, because I feel like you have something you want to say.
Partially. So, when I first started looking into MILSIM, a big thing that attracted me was seeing promotional material for like Lion Claw's Irene events, where like the DVDs they used to put up, and you'd see the fake RPGs on a wire screaming from one building to another, and sparks shining down on a group of guys coming around the corner.
Okay. Corey Beatty asks, what are your thoughts on EMG Sharp Bros Jack? I noticed you don't carry it on the site. Thank you. I don't think you've ever used one, have you?
No, it's an amoeba base, isn't it?
Yeah.
Customized body. It's really cool to see them getting smaller firearms companies licensing to do uniquer things, not just, Daniel Defense. I'm not the biggest fan of the amoeba series. I'm not a big fan of proprietary systems to begin with, but they're cool looking. Having flared accents on your gun, it really brings a little uniqueness to it. Makes it so you have a standard M4, but you're standing out a little bit. So
the only issue is that they do not accept a whole lot of parts from other, and that's amoeba in general.
Yeah.
They are built very proprietary and everything like that.
But from their point of view, it's that they want to make an above standard quality product. But in order to do that, you have to run their parts and their systems.
Yeah. So.
Levi Cease from Pitt. Who is the spiciest meme lord in all the land?
Unintentional, probably Pedro. The stuff he posts is it's he doesn't.
That face.
He drops things that are just otherworldly.
I'd say previous employees, Evan wasn't too bad of a meme lord. That might also have been unintentional.
My memes reach out to people that sort of
like in the fields.
No, that Howard the Alien one still sneaks up on people. The one where it's dancing with all the gun gamers dudes that are just. I thought that was funny, and the Neverending Story one that I'm real proud of. That one I showed that to somebody recently, and they're like, "That's amazing. Why don't you guys post more stuff like that?" And I'm like, because you're the only person to say that's amazing. So, yeah, the stuff that we do behind closed doors is stuff that's never going to see the light of day. If that's what we're talking.
Probably.
It's McMillan.
Yeah,
it's McMillan.
Was really good.
Yeah, So, it's so long. What's your true opinion on snipers and airsoft and the role that they play in swaying the game or op? What playstyles seem more effective in kills and physiology warfare?
Probably
psychological warfare. The Novrich move and shoot or the kicking Mustang style, finding choke points and funnels and blending it completely and cutting off every avenue. Hashtag suppressor, hashtag cream-filled banana pants, hashtag that's bi, hashtag bushwookie.
So
there's a lot of jokes in that.
Yeah. True opinion, snipers can be effective, but everyone wants to, play Novrich and do those, get a bunch of kills and never get shot. But it's really a smaller niche thing for the people that should be doing it or are actually going to have fun doing it, compared to people that just want to reenact a bunch of videos they see online.
Drew should be doing it.
Drew is very good at it. He enjoys it because he modifies this stuff a lot to fit that niche.
He walks around with a tool belt.
Yeah,
and that's his kit.
Because he just makes someone in my similar situation. You have family, you can dump a lot of money in.
No, he's got a lot of nice stuff. He does really. He's like, I'd rather just build something. So he just builds. Okay. He's big.
I appreciate that as well.
He's got a really expensive, gross looking guns that are.
He does. He has some nice stuff that he does a lot of stuff too. But they can have a lot of different ways in which they can affect an event. They can do anything from like that, where you shoot and move and you're, essentially assaulting, but as a sniper, or, taking those vital areas. But even beyond that, even if you have a radio on you and you seeing stuff with your magnified optic that other people can't really pull out, and you're calling it in and letting them know troop movements and whereabouts of people, and is this a weak position, that's a strong position, that can have a lot of effect as well. Even beyond the psychological part, even just having, clearing that fog of war.
I think a lot of people sort of like, how do I become an airsoft sniper? How do I become novice? How do I become, this, that, and they, for me, recently I just saw a guy who he had like the most basic kit that could possibly see on him, and that was like all the precedence he needed, for being a good sniper was that he was low profile, he was willing to get into like real weird, uncomfortable spots. And he was like, and it's just like, my opinion on the snipers and airsoft is that if you're good, like if you know what you're doing, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's the thing is like, I don't know where the, like, lone sniper, like, image, like, originated. Mm-hmm. Like, you see it pop up everywhere, but it's never, like, what you expect.
You're more effective when you're part of the team and doing stuff that is good for the whole. As far as effective, it might not get the best gameplay footage, but
sometimes it does.
Sometimes, yeah. Benjamin Snow Aldrich, what do you think of the Max? So, the Max in general, or their specific products?
I think they're talking about the Hop.
Yeah, that's what everyone usually talks about. Like I've said already, I think there's a lot of great features in them. And the LED ones, I'm not entirely sold on which is better, the mock suppressor mounted tracer or an in-hop one. But the ability to have it without putting a muzzle device on your gun is amazing. Just the ability to have more options to fit how you want to do it is great. But I love all the features it has, and I haven't really seen any complaints from them so far.
Yeah.
Alex
Kapishki.
I am horrible with names. Also, who's sexiest, the Virgin Chris or the Chad Kurt?
That's up to you, bud. You better fucking watch it.
Chad.
You're a fucking bitch.
If it was Chad Chris.
You bullshit, Bigler. Alex Stortz. Do you see Airsoft moving off of Facebook and back onto the forums, Discord, Slack, etc., with a lot of groups being banned?
I am surprisingly actually seeing that trend a little bit. Discord's becoming very popular. Hop Up and other Airsoft-specific apps. Took a while to see which ones would gain traction since Facebook's starting to not be so friendly to anything at all gun-related. But that's happening even like beyond Facebook into like some marketing or some back-end website stuff. There's just a lot of anything Google-based is also not seeming to be very gun-friendly.
So there's this thing called SEO, and it is search engine optimization. It's one of the things that we sort of utilize to help get our numbers up. Become more visual in the digital marketplace. What we have noticed is that, and we've talked about this before on previous episodes, we are definitely, Kurt likes to use the phrase discriminated against. I don't think that's quite the right word, but we are, as an industry, sort of at the mercy of, the sort of trend of what is acceptable in the buyer's market. And that carries over to Facebook. You will see, a couple groups go down, especially after, tragedy or an incident that does involve guns. And you will see, like a tightening, so to speak, of the grip of like, what's more capable. It really all depends on. You'll see some Facebook groups continue to stand, because of how they find ways around, that sort of algorithm that takes them down. It's a lot of careful and like vigilant moderation.
Right. Yeah. The big thing that was with the moderators keeping their rule sets strict. Most of the time, if they ban any selling of anything, even accessories, that usually keeps them mostly safe, and or it's just information-based groups.
I will say, I hope that we don't go back to the days where we have to go to like 10 different websites to figure out what...
It was a little cumbersome,
Yeah.
But I'm sure if it gets too strict in those public spaces, then we'll find more niche things, maybe a whole new platform for firearms and firearm-style industries. But, Justin Golden, where can I find any MILSIM West tourniquets? I'm attending my first MILSIM West in May and don't want to show up unprepared.
So, actually, we just got our own made.
Mm-hmm.
They have the green tab, and they are going to be available up on our store soon.
But don't you get one with your admission, at least the MILSIM?
Don't think you do anymore.
Okay, they used to. I'm never been to a MILSIM West, so I have a secondary input. But if not that, there are companies that sell them, and like he said, we started making our own brand because there is a little less availability of them.
Yeah. So we're pretty much done for the day. Just a couple things that we sort of wanted to announce. Like we said before, we are starting to do high kappas, TM and AW custom. We're going to have a lot of stuff coming out within the next couple weeks. So make sure you keep your eye on our Instagram and the website as well at ampedairsoft.com. Any questions or anything like that you want to shoot us, make sure to send us at either askdamped@ampedairsoft.com. Leave it in the comment section down below, or of course you can always post up on our Facebook page and ask us there. And who knows, you might actually see it on the video. Another thing we sort of want to drop, we're announcing the Amped Airsoft Discord. We're going to leave a link down below, and then we're also going to make a post on Instagram and on Facebook as well. This is a great way for you to sort of stay in contact with us directly, as well as our sponsored players, talk to other people within the community, and just really just get to know all the events that we're going to, all the people that are putting them on, and all the people that we like to work with. Also, at the end of the month, we will be at the Metro season, the preseason expo at OTP Warfare in Burlington, New Jersey. And we will have the shop. We'll be there with a couple sponsor players. I know Primer X will be there. I think DH6. A bunch of people will be out showing their support. And I think that there also is a play day at OTP as well. Huge field, great staff. It's going to be a great event altogether. And we're excited. So make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification button, the little bell down there, to sort of see all of our videos and updates that we come out with. We have reviews and everything like that each week. And, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. And, say goodnight, Biggs.
Good night, Biggs.
I'm Chris, and this is Biggs. And thanks for watching.